Life is mostly froth and bubble. Two things stand like stone: kindness in another's trouble, courage in your own. That verse was by a gentleman named Lindsay Gordon. And yeah, there's something about life that is so temporary and so not real in a lot of ways. I'm not the kind of person to say that life is completely an illusion. I don't really go that direction. Because things matter. They matter to me. But on the other hand, sometimes we get so serious with ourselves, and really the only thing that survives every situation is kindness and courage. They are always called for. You can always bring those out. Kindness and courage. You can always bring those out. They'll always be in style. Doesn't matter if you're online. It doesn't matter if you're playing a game. Doesn't matter if it's the biggest tragedy you've ever been in. Doesn't matter if it's the funnest time you've ever had. Doesn't matter if you're at home or if you're far away. Kindness and courage are always best things to have in your tool bag for life. And, when it comes to being kind in another person's trouble, quite often another person's trouble is also our own. We come in situations that are difficult. We might call them conflicts. It's really difficult to maintain your anger and your grudge and when you're sure that it's all about you. And you're hurt when you believe that it's about you. The more that you choose to have some understanding, the more understanding you can inject into the situation. Understanding for yourself, but understanding for the other person, where they're coming from. Even if they're wrong, but why they might have come to that position. The more understanding that you can bring to the situation, the harder it is to be unkind. Like, you just cannot even be unkind. There's that a little story I've heard over and over and over again about this person was on a bus, and it was he was watching these 4 young children be completely misbehaving on the bus. They wouldn't sit still. They were loud. They were running up and down the bus, and he could figure out who the father was, and the father was just sitting there doing nothing to discipline the children. And the person sitting on the bus was getting pretty perturbed, because it was all about him and his bus ride, right? So finally, he actually didn't say anything. He was just silent, but the father kind of looked up and finally said, "I'm sorry." He said, "It's just that we've just come from the hospital, and my wife and their mother just died." And it was a moment for that family where, they were stunned and broken and coping with the best way they can. The father was coping by just sitting there, and the kids were coping by going crazy, right? And of course, as soon as the other bus rider heard this, the moment when he had some understanding, his own feeling of being wronged completely washed away, and he was completely filled with compassion for this family and was able to be kind. And so it's not all about you. Isn't that great? That's actually good news. It's not all about you. It doesn't have to be you. You don't have to carry it on your shoulders. You don't have to be upset about stuff. You can be kind. And you can be kind to yourself. And you can have courage with the things that you've got to go through. And yeah, just something for me to remember. Anyway, I'll see you soon.